Welcome back to English Made Interesting. Today we'll discuss a poem. You can pronounce it as poem or poem. Both are right. The name of the poem which we are going to discuss is My Mother at 66 by Kamala. This poem is included in the NCERT textbook for Class 12. Now few lines about the poet. Kamala is one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality due to the independent thoughts and imagination which is evident in her works. It is versatile in nature as it embraces a variety of subjects. Her works have an indigenous flavor of the soil and is very natural. Kamala has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhavikutty. Her works in English include novels and short stories. She wrote on diverse topics that include women's issues, childcare and politics. She won Kerala Sahitya Award and Sahitya Academy Award. Now, introduction. This poem has been written in lyrical idiom, which generally means to speak about something with enthusiasm and by using an elegant language. Here, it is about expressing emotions in an imaginative and beautiful manner. The significance of the poem is that it is written in a single sentence, punctuated by commas. The poem brings out the complexity of human relationships. In short, the poet had gone to meet her mother and is now driving back to the airport. On the way, she notices the pale face of her mother and is struck with an instant realization that her mother is very old. The poet is very upset. Aging is a natural process and it is something which we cannot avoid from happening. We will have to accept it. But in spite of knowing or realizing the truth, we are not in a position to accept it when it comes to our beloved parents whom we do not like to part with. So is the poet's feeling, which makes her very upset. Through this poem, the poet tries to bring out the natural complexities of the human mind and the natural fear of losing our parents, and it is something that is common to all the human beings. We need to accept it even though it creates pain in our hearts. Now I'll explain the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse. The poet had gone to visit her parents' home near Cochin. On Friday morning, she was returning. On her way to the airport, she noticed her mother sleeping beside her in the car. Her mouth was open, her face was pale and lifeless, just like a dead body. It perhaps expressed the pain she felt because of the separation from her daughter. Anne realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. The poet was alarmed by the sudden realization that old age had crept upon her mother. It was a reality she found hard to accept. The poet was pained to see her mother's colorless pale face. To take her attention away from the disturbing thought, she looked outside the car. Because the car was moving, the young green trees appeared to be running in the opposite direction. She also saw a group of children rushing out of their homes to play. All this probably reminded her of her childhood when her mother was young. The young sprinting trees represented how fast time had flown by. The children represented youth, which was full of life and energy. Both the young trees and the children presented a sharp contrast to the mother sitting beside her, who was old and suffering from ill health. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, one pale as a late winter's moon. The young children and trees were able to divert her thoughts away. But after reaching the airport and passing through the security check, the poet again looked at her mother, who was standing a few yards away from her. Her mother looked lifeless and dull, like a late winter's moon, which cannot be seen clearly because of mist and fog. And felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Once again, she was pained to see her mother in this condition. As she was going away and leaving her mother, her old familiar pain, her childhood fear that she would lose her mother, suddenly came back to her. So, she tried to hide her emotions behind a smile. She did not want to reveal her feelings to her old mother and bade her farewell with a smile. She gave hope to her mother and herself by saying that they would meet again and kept on smiling. Now on to the poetic devices used in the poem. The entire poem is structured in the frame of a single sentence punctuated by commas. It indicates a single string of thought that runs throughout. There is a simile in the explicit comparison of the ashen face of her mother to that of a corpse. We find another simile in the comparison between the pale visage of her mother and the late winter's moon, as her face has lost its brightness. There is a use of personification in the line "trees sprinting," where trees are attributed with the quality of running swiftly for enhancing the poetic effect. The poet has used alliteration in the use of words familiar and fear, the repetition of the consonant sound F. It also suggests the poet's familiarity with her childhood fear and the sorrow of losing her mother to death. No particular rhyme scheme is followed. It has been written in free verse. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.